Good morning, everybody. I welcome all of you on the third day of 17th World Education Summit by eLet's Technomedia in association with Digital Learning Magazine. And the opening session of this third day of World Education Summit is on a very innovative and important topic, one of its kind initiative by Government of Rajasthan, and it is the session is about Anandam, imparting modern education with social values to the youth of Rajasthan. We are delighted that this next 1 hour will be a discussion on this very unique topic, which has a global appeal and which is very crucial in these times when the world has realized the importance of social values and social relationships. And in these times, we are honored to do this session in the chairmanship of Dr. Shuchi Sharma, who is Higher and Technical Education Secretary of Government of Rajasthan. Welcome, madam. And I also introduce you to the other panelists. Ma'am Nilima Khetan, who is Managing Partner of Novus Consultants. Welcome, Nilima ji.
Thank you.
I welcome Mr. Ronak Shah, Chief Executive of Seva Mandir. Ronak ji, आपका स्वागत है.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also welcome Mr. Gaurav Khandelwal, co-founder of Contri, a young dynamic entrepreneur.
Thank you.
To start with, I request the founder and CEO of eLet's Technomedia, Dr. Ravi Gupta, to kindly welcome these dignitaries in today's World Education Summit Day 3 opening session. Dr. Ravi Gupta.
Sure. Namaskar, and thank you all our eminent speakers of inaugural session and all our delegates who are joining us live on our 3D platform. Today is the day of the 17th World Education Summit, and this summit has seen 16 editions which have been physical events. They have been held in Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Dubai, Bahrain, and Denver in USA. And we have had some satellite events of this mega conference, World Education Summit, held in other countries like UK and Thailand and Malaysia, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and several other places also earlier. So in these challenging times of Corona, we are doing it on a online platform and a virtual platform. And today's topic of the panel, which is around Anandam, and Anandam relates to the concept of happiness, and many countries have identified happiness as a very important aspect of overall well-being of citizens. And happiness in the context of education, again, it relates to a lot of social, cultural connections of education with the overall society. So, and we are honored to have Dr. Shuchi Sharma with us, who has been a very important proponent of this concept of happiness, Anandam. And we are honored to have other eminent panelists who are joining us in this panel. So, requesting our moderator, Nilima Khetan to kindly take over this session. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi Gupta. Before we hand it over to Nilima ji, I request all the audience. I would like to request, inform you that more than 1,500 live delegates are watching this daily World Education Summit, and all the audience who have started pitching in, I request you to please put your questions so that in the end we can have very good questions to be asked from the panelists. And with that, I request Nilima ji to please take over.
Thank you very much, Karthik, and thank you, Dr. Ravi. I'm indeed very proud to have Dr. Shuchi Sharma, the Principal Secretary, Higher and Technical Education for Rajasthan, as the speaker in this session. Anandam has been totally her inspiration and brainchild in Rajasthan, And I'm also very proud to say that Rajasthan is the first state in all of the country to have thought of such an ambitious and grand program to take the idea of volunteering to every single child in the higher education system. So I would, without saying anything further, I would like to request ma'am to please, ma'am, share with the audience your vision and thoughts behind this date, what each of this program is going to be. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Nilima Khetan. First of all, I must congratulate, as I do in all the summits, Dr. Ravi Gupta, who is doing a wonderful job by organizing such wonderful summits. This 17th World Education Summit he is doing. He has held the education summits in different countries, and this shows his dedication. Despite this COVID situation, he has started doing all these conferences through webinars, through satellites, and off to his efforts and his team. All the list, Rocha and Gaurav Khandelwal, Nilima. Anandam is something I am very much, passionate about, and I am very much happy about that I could do it. Anandam has really given Anandam to me. When I got this Secretary of Education, grateful to my government, ministers, Chief Minister, that he encouraged me to do, and I could think about such a novel concept, which is basically a very, very simple thing, but sometimes we overlook simple things and we overdo complicated things. That this simple thing has been when somehow we and bigger packages, the whole all the even intelligent students, the process is how to get good jobs, and this is the basic narration. By introducing
Madam, I think we are facing some issue in your connectivity. Like if you have any other connection with you, if you can connect that with you.
Is it not audible?
It's like breaking in the middle. So it's like if you have another connection, another network, if you can connect, then it will be better. Just log in again, then like if you log out and log in again, that may help perhaps. I think these are the challenges of the digital age. And
yes, it is there.
Yeah.
Should I log off and then again?
Now it is clear. So in between, ma'am, yes, it is clear, yes. But in between,
maybe you will have to bear with it. Network is like that only. Let me try again.
Yes. Yes.
So what I was saying was, Anandam was conceived on 6 October, Mahatma Gandhi Jayanti, when I was speaking as a special guest in a college, and and it came across my mind that there should be some introduction of concept of trusteeship of Mahatma Gandhi in education. It should become the part of essential part of the curriculum. And it happened. We did workshop, And I could pick up Nilima ji. I had been doing work with her during Mahila Bal Vikas days also, and was quite impressed with her work. And I picked her up, and then we organized workshops with the VCs of the universities and the NGOs, those which are doing good work in the field. And ultimately, it came, the Anandam word was coined for the subject, and it was decided that it should be introduced as a compulsory subject. And that compulsory subject should have marks also. It should be mentioned in the report card, so that at least that goodness of the student is tapped out, and it is evaluated, and it is being given weightage in the report card also. And it has happened. Now all the universities have accepted it. All the universities have introduced it in academic council. Yesterday also it was MLSU University which had organized an e-session on this Anandam, and they were so much positive about it. So proactively they were doing all this. And now the Anandam is having, in fact, two parts. One is the student will be writing a personal diary in which he will be writing a good deed he has done every day. And the other thing is he will be taking up in the group, he will be taking up the projects in which he will be
I think, ma'am, we've lost you. But this is really the connectivity in Jaipur. This is our state capital. Dr. Ravi, you are on mute.
Sorry, apologies. So, Nilima ji, I think we'll have to wait, and I also asked Karthik to join in here. Just be
So
here in-
yeah, Nilima ji, so can you start having the views from Gaurav and Ronak and your views to start with, and because ma'am has already set the tone of the session, so and then ma'am will also join, and we can continue the discussion.
Yeah, no, till ma'am comes, I will, of course, just complete the thought that ma'am had started sharing. I think there are two unique aspects to the Anandam program. One is an individual diary, and the second is a group project. The idea of the individual diary is that every student, every day, will write one act of goodness, according to him, the act of goodness that he did today. That act of goodness could be something as small as, just helping his mother in the kitchen or her mother in the kitchen, which he didn't used to do earlier. Or it could be going and reading a book to a child in the neighborhood or anything. It can be any small act of goodness that the person does. And when we were designing it, of course, there is always the challenge that will the child be able to find one act to do every day? Will it become difficult to do it every day? Will children write things without doing it? Because there is going to be no evaluation. How can you evaluate what I say on my own? So there was also the concern that maybe the children will not write the truth. But at the end of the day, after all discussions, we felt that even if the child, once or twice doesn't write the right thing, but ultimately every day, 200, 250 days, 300 days in a year, the child is not going to keep copy pasting or doing things he or she has not done. So we said, let us keep it. And also the idea is that the child will write it by hand. So it is not online, it is a manual writing thing that you write and you think about it. So that's there's ma'am back again. So ma'am, I just started explaining about the individual diary and the group project.
Yes.
So I didn't speak about the group project, I
Yes,
just spoke about the diary.
Yes. But that's all I want to say, that it has been concretized, the idea has been concretized. It has two parts. One is diary, the other is group project. and students group projects will be taken up in groups, and they will be doing it in a center. There will be one two groups, and they will get it. I think the students are very much excited about it. I have received a lot of subjects. I'm going to do. It's going to well and of it.
I think, ma'am, your net has gone again.
Now have all. Now you continue, please.
Okay.
You please continue now.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Whenever you are able to, please speak. Please do join. So as ma'am said, there are these two components to this, and it has gone across the state, and it has been very warmly and readily accepted by most of the universities. And as I had said in the beginning, I think this is the largest and most ambitious such engagement program for the youth that has been rolled out in the country. And it's happened because of ma'am being there and her conviction in this idea. And we will come back and listen to ma'am again. But meanwhile, let me call upon the youngest member of the panel, which is Gaurav. He is the co-founder of Contri, and Contri has been involved in doing volunteering work in cities mostly, but in other places also. But I will Gaurav speak about, what has been the experience of engaging youth. And there is one question in the chat that how does this engagement lead to lifelong learning and skills? Huh? So you can talk about that also, the advantage. So over to you, Gaurav.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Our experience in this domain has been of 4 years, and we have found it profoundly satisfying that we are into this domain. So far, we have been able to engage as many as 8,000 volunteers with us, which is a number in itself. And our experience suggests us that youth want to contribute with the more now everyone is aware about the social problems because of the pronounced social media. People are aware of social problems, and now they want to contribute. The missing link is the provisioning of the volunteering opportunities. So in our work, we provide a lot of volunteering opportunity to these youths, and we have actively engaged people to the extent that as at one point in time some 250 odd people are working with us. So we have been able to engage them at that scale. Coming to the benefits of it, the pandemic has certainly showed us the strength of being in the communities around us, helping each other, and working for the good. While it is also not just satisfying mentally, it also helps us to engage with people who otherwise we won't get to be in touch with. The kind of communities that we live in, we are mostly secluded. With more and more social media pitching in, especially our generation youth, we are mostly secluded. While we are 5 people in the family, we are distant. Still, we are distant. We are more close to our friend living in US rather than our parents sitting in the next room. So while coming out and volunteering in the physical spaces, brings that human touch also. So that is what I see as the biggest advantage, other than other aspects of it. Yeah. So in this case, in volunteering, both the parties at the beneficiary end, the giver and the taker.
And so thank you, Gaurav. You want to speak a little bit more about the kind of work that your volunteers have done. And I just want to, before you talk about the kind of things your volunteers have done, one thing that you said was also something that ma'am spoke in the very beginning, that if we look at our youth today, they are probably the most stressed youth generation that has been there. And partly it is because we are not our lifestyle today does not lead us to engage with other people in a normal course. And therefore, the necessity to create such opportunities where young people can go out and engage with people who are different than you, engage with people beyond your own community or your neighborhood or your class circle. And that's one thing that you are also saying, that this volunteering does that. But Gaurav, before we move to Ronak, if you can speak about the kind of work that your volunteers have done.
Yeah. So I'll take examples of a couple of opportunities that we have created. The city in Jaipur has seen a mega campaign in partnership with government, which is municipal corporation, and the event has been popularly named as Rang De Jaipur, wherein we work in the public spaces which are filthy. We clean them, we paint them. The idea of painting being done by people is to create the sense of ownership, right? Even if the municipal corporation is doing, people don't take that much on ownership, so it also brings a behavioral change. So that is one opportunity that we have definitely created, and we have painted as many as 3 lakh square feet of area across the city of Jaipur, which is a number in itself. Coming to other opportunities that we have created, another one is in the domain of menstrual hygiene, right? So menstrual hygiene is an issue of more of a taboo rather than any other thing. So we engage young volunteers who looks as elder sisters to adolescents who come from backward communities. So when these girls interact with them and engage with them and bring that issue on the table and discuss with them, so that helps them to break that taboo. So that is another domain where we have actively engaged with people, and we have seen huge support by our volunteers. So these are typically two domains we have actively worked in, and we are exploring more of them. Yes.
So thank you, Gaurav, and we'll keep coming back. May I now request Ronak, who is heading Seva Mandir, one of the oldest volunteer organizations in Rajasthan, if you can speak about your experience of the kind of people who come to volunteer with you, and what is the kind of volunteering opportunities you provide. You have long experience in this space, so over to you, Ronak, and also if you can speak about the relevance of Anandam that you see.
Thank you, Nilemaji, and good morning to all the people who are watching listening us right now. Uh, I think I want to say on two parts on volunteering. One is what my organization does, but before I move on to Seva Mandir's involvement, I am also remembering my journey to start in voluntary sector. When I was in college, when I started studying engineering, my after few months, I realized that my weekends were just getting wasted. You're just chatting in the hostel, no, or roaming around in the city. I was studying in Ahmedabad, so that led me to explore organizations who were working in the city with on environment and on other social issues of orphanages and rescue homes and other places. And I started spending my weekend with few hours every weekend, and that led me actually spending now my whole weekends later on and vacations in this organization. And I think a lot of what I am right now today when I'm working it got built into that period. We all have studied moral science in our schools days when we start studying, and one that's more a theory you learn, and your teachers are saying that you should do good work, you should help other people. That's a theory. It starts getting into your mind, but then the later learning starts first by observing people actually doing that. It's not that a child will or not never learn by only do you understand? Somebody has told you that you say good things, but then you don't observe that somebody is saying good things to somebody. It's not going to get into the child's day living. And I think the second phase of the person's personality builds up when they actually do that action. So observation and action both are important, and I feel that voluntary work in life builds into the later part a lot when you're into an action, and that's where my journey started. Actually, be getting into action of doing good work. What I've learned from my teachers, of my family, and other people around me. and I think that's where somebody asked the question of what lifelong skills you develop during volunteering. I think it builds a lot of part in person's life in terms of understanding the society around you, how people live, what are the problems they face, and second part you want to learn is what are the solutions, how do you find solutions to those problems, and of course, I think building empathy and lots of other things which gets building. So if I now move to Seva Mandir, where I've been.
Ronak, sorry to interrupt you. I think that is a very nice what you spoke about your own journey. I'm just thinking that ma'am has also joined. So maybe just on this question that the audience have asked ma'am about, how does Anandam contribute to lifelong learning and skills? And also, ma'am, there's another question that how can it be done pan-India? So if ma'am, since your internet, whenever you will come back, we will want to hear you. So if you can say on this, how is Anandam connected with lifelong learning and skills and pan-India?
Anandam, how can it be pan-India?
Ma'am, if you switch off the video and just speak on... Okay, we can hear you.
Okay. So
Yeah.
pan-India is not in my hands directly, but I have introduced, I have thrown a stone in the still water. Now and it will going to
मैम आपका वीडियो स्विच ऑफ कर दीजिए, सिर्फ ऑडियो से बोलिए, मे बी इट विल बी बेटर देन. No, ma'am, we can't hear you. Yeah, I think we are not able to hear, ma'am.
Okay, you continue with the other, and there is net. I will do that. Or
Yeah,
then I will have to write otherwise.
Then the net comes.
Yes.
Sorry for that.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, if you stop your camera, अगर आप कैमरा ऑफ कर देंगे जैसे मैंने किया हुआ है, तो आपका ऑडियो क्लियर आ जाएगा मैम. वो कैमरा टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ
Continue.
No, so thank you, ma'am. I think one thing, ma'am, that you said about, I think, ma'am, you said it very nicely about the pan-India thing. कि मैंने मतलब एक पत्थर उछाल के डाला है still waters में, and let us see how far the waves go. And but it is like we said in the beginning, it is a bold and unusual experiment because there is conversation about that. In one way, we are making it compulsory, and yet it is a volunteering program. And I want Ronak to come in on that because I think their organization has in the past also got people who came because it was a mandated part of their either or something. So there is not such a deep contradiction that it's compulsory and yet it is a volunteering program. But I would like Ronak to speak on this aspect, please.
So with Seva Mandir's, I think engagement with volunteers has been very long, and we have been last 25-30 years period we have been inviting and hosting volunteers. There every year about 200 plus people who are there with us for from 2 months to a year of period, and they come from all kind of backgrounds, educational backgrounds. They come from lots from India, from other countries, and stay with us. As I told, minimum for 2 months. Sometimes if it's not possible, even for shorter time. But we encourage them to be at least for 2 months, because that is a time needed to be doing actually something fruitful. So from India, we get students from various institutes who are into social development, who are into rural development. Normal management institutes are also nowadays sending their students for summer internships. In Udaipur, we have IIM Udaipur as a very nice, good institute. They have set up a program called Rural Immersion Program, and under that, all of their management students have to go and stay in a village for 1 week, and during that period, so they stay in batch of 4, 5 in different villages, and during that period, one thing they do is to try to get understanding about the village life, and what are the present solution in a problem in rural India, and what kind of solutions they can think of when they go back and work in the corporate world or as an entrepreneur, or any banks or wherever they are working. And they also help us to find solution. We also give them question to all these volunteers who come to us. So if I take an example, if a volunteer is interested in education, in rural education, so we give them a problem like we go to a village and see how many children are out of school right now, and what are the reasons they are out of school. Talk with their parents, talk with the children, with the school teacher there, and uh, if they can help some of them to go back to school, definitely do that. But at least help Seva Mandir to understand what are the problems which can be addressed. So by this example, I just wanted to say that volunteering is both a two-way process. It is never a single way that person who is coming forward is only going to be gaining from that. They are going to gain a lot, I was sharing with my personal story. But from the organization point of view, also voluntary organization like us uh, gets tremendous help from people coming from outside. One of the help which is, if I start, is volunteer organization always have lack of human resource who have studied in esteemed institutions. They have skills in terms of writing or capturing stories or many things. So that is a big help Sevamdi gets from this young people coming and working with us. The second thing, which is also is of fresh ideas, new ideas, a new perspective to look at things. Which when we are in the organization, we have developed one kind of perspective, and there's all need to always look at that with an open mind. So that's also, and a combination of young people who don't have any much of I think too much of tension. They just be open, tell what they want to tell. As you grow, you always have to be more diplomatic, more what to say, what not to say. That tension is not there for young people. So that's an advantage, and as an organization also that gives us builds a culture in the organization to be more innovative, open to ideas, and not be rigid about their thoughts. So that's another thing we take benefit. Yeah. So I think Nilwa, just last one thought I'm putting on the pan India. kind of thing. I don't know but much about the government system because that ma'am knows much better than I've been just learning in this experience. But I think opportunities of working organizations providing voluntary opportunities are huge. So I think, and there are young people who are interested to do that. We actually have to tell no now. Many times we don't have enough capacity. So I think something like Anandam, which is just creating more a bridge or a connector, will be taking this volunteering concept much far. No, I am looking forward to this spending definitely very.
Yeah, one thing, Ronak, from what you said, I feel what Anandam has done is that, see, earlier this kind of volunteering or interning was maybe more elite institutions created that opportunity for children. And then children would put it in their CVs. I know children, when they apply for higher education or when they apply for job, very proudly will write that I have interned here. But those opportunities got created by these more elite institutions, so to say. I feel what Anandam has done is really created that opportunity for every single child in every government college, in every technical institution. These are not, places where normally you got this opportunity. So that's really such an, in a sense, an equalizer that has been created by Anandam. That's really enormous if you think about it. And on that enormity part, I want to go to Gaurav, because the other day Gaurav was also saying that, at one go, Anandam will make available, I don't know, ma'am, how many lakh children will become available to work in society. And that's a huge supply of young people, meaning time of young people that's been made available. And how, of course, volunteer organizations is one option, but they can go and work in government departments. They can go and work in their neighborhood mohalla. They can start their own startup idea in this process of doing something. So I just wanted to, because I think the scale continuously, I keep thinking nobody's attempted it at that scale. And how will, but the democratization, the equalizing opportunity that Anandam has created is really phenomenal. But Gaurav, you want to say anything about these large numbers? You think it is a frightening number? You think it is something that will be managed? And if ma'am can speak and hear, then ma'am, please do speak.
Yeah, I'll just add one thing on that number. Just did a very raw calculation, and since there are as many as 20 lakh students enrolled in undergrad and PG courses in Rajasthan universities across Rajasthan, so the sheer calculation turns out to be almost 2.5 crore human hours per year, right? So as Ronak sir mentioned, that there was always a demand for volunteering to happen in the voluntary sector. Now the policy intervention has also created the supply linkage, which was a missing link, right? And under Suchi ma'am's guidance, that matching and that matchmaking will happen, and that we will also be able to design that production function, which will make this input and output occur together. Yeah, so such is the enormity.
I'm just thinking, ma'am, are you able to, if your connection is better, ma'am, you can unmute and say something? Ma'am, please unmute.
I can simply try. Whether you are able to
Yeah.
listen to me or not, I don't know. Yes, enormity of the supply of such volunteers will be there. And I think this enormity has to this enormity has to do with the ownership of the problems. In fact, my basic aim is we as a community always depend on the government, which is, I think, not right. For every problem, for every solution, we look up to the government, and then we would say that government has failed or government has lost. and then politics starts and something like that. But when this enormity in fact is going to contribute to the empowerment of the community, they are building the community. The students are from the community, and they will be, in fact, the community empowerment is going to, you can understand to what extent then our country can think for some other things, some more developmental things, instead of focusing on only how to clean the roads, how to keep the environment clean, how to keep the nutrition level of the child proper, something like that. When there is in the community, why do the government schemes fail in the field? It is just because we take government as spoon feeder, and government should come and spoon feed them, and then there are Anganwadis. The mothers don't take their children to the Anganwadis. They have to go to the Anganwadis. There is provision of immunization. Mothers are not proactively going to the immunization center. We will have to use ASHA workers for that. So if there will be a 360-degree change in the community itself, there will be a sea change in the way the community thinks own problems. It will start owning its own problems and solving its own problems. This is the impact of the enormity this Anandam is going to create. So this is something very deep thinking I have done before introducing it. And once the community is empowered, so many problems of our country are solved. And as voluntary organizations, Nilima ji and Ronak Shah and Contri, Gaurav, all you must be knowing, when you work in the field, it's so difficult to motivate the people. It's so difficult to motivate the people with their benefits. So this is something, this Anandam is going to have impact on it is going to thrash that inertia which is in the community. This is what I feel.
Yeah. So, ma'am, there you are absolutely right. That somehow in these...
Was I audible?
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. This time it was very clear. So what you said is absolutely right, ma'am. Somehow in these 70 years of independence, we've come to depend on the government. We feel that everything the government will provide to us. Whereas, like you said, ma'am, that's not true. Government can't find solutions to every problem. And it is only when citizens and communities themselves will begin to do it, I think that's when. And I think one example of that, I think Gaurav mentioned it in the beginning, or Ronak, that during COVID times, this pandemic showed really that it is only the citizen responses that managed to make sure that many people did not go hungry, that, people were looked after. And maybe I would like to request both Gaurav and Ronak to please share a little bit about your experiences on, and especially please talk about, because Anandam is about this next generation, about the young people, and what you saw about the participation of young people or the potential, just the reactions during the pandemic. If Gaurav and Ronak, you can say a few words about it.
May I go, Ronak, first? Yeah, thank you. Definitely, ma'am. During pandemic, it's the common citizen who has come up front and helped the migrants and all other people to survive, even to the extent of surviving also. One more thing I would like to add. So there is a huge, discussion, debate about the very word called demographic dividend. So I also see Anandam, pitching very rightly on that note, because India enjoys that window for a very short period of time from here on. So if we are not able to tap that, and such kind of policy interventions are the ones that can only help and tap that opportunity that lies ahead in front of us. During these pandemic times, the national education policy came, and I was going through the draft of it. In particular, Chapter 2, Section 7 of National Education Policy mentions that how good would the world be if everyone takes the responsibility of tutoring someone else, right? So the very idea of each one teach one, I also see Anandam as fitting very well into that, wherein people would come up and would take teaching as an opportunity of volunteering, because and all more all the more in these pandemic times, wherein online education is also coming in and digital divide is even more spreading. So people who come from the background wherein they have the knowledge of technology can help the people who don't have this technical know-how. So yeah, that very idea of, I didn't find any mention about how this policy NEP will achieve this goal, which they have mentioned in section 7 of the chapter 2, but Anandam very well fits in there as well, and it will help us realize that dream as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Gaurav. That was very, very pertinent. Yeah.
So I will just give two examples which we witnessed during COVID lockdown, particularly of how volunteering actually was so important. So we all know lockdown when Sevamdev was doing relief work and for distribution of food kits and sanitation kits was being done in the villages, and our staff traveling from one place to other place was never feasible. It was neither allowed, and no, it was also risky for their own lives. So in the villages, all the work which was starting from identifying the right kind of families for panchayats, for Sevamdiri kind of organizations, or any other organization, who needs this support, how that will reach with a proper safety, whether it's being used for in that time, and any more needs are there. All the things which we saw this period, and it was an amazing period for us, 2 months of April and May. We had about more than 1,000 people from villages volunteering for this, all in village to village, starting from school-going children who were in the schools. They were making list of people, or younger people who. So one person, yeah, I remember a quote from a young 18-19-year-old boy of Mauli block. He told me, like in one of a meeting, he told to our staff, and then we shared with us, that मैंने मेरी लाइफ में मेरे गांव को इतना जुड़ा हुआ मिलके काम करता कभी नहीं देखा in 19 years of his life. So I think how good thing and volunteering brings people together. Goodness is actually always a good feeling, and I think that brings a lot of positive energy among this. And similarly, I think what Gaurav you mentioned, tutoring wala, we saw this happening in villages because teachers were not there. So young boys and girls, school going, making children sitting and doing something of the neighborhoods was a reality which we saw, and it was really amazing. So I think we don't need this big volunteering work when we go and work in organizations always. Just doing something next door is equally an important volunteering work, which is going to be very much encouraged by Anandam kind of concept.
Just to add to Ronak, goodness is not just positive, it also snowballs, right? So when you, and there also Anandam helps it to snowball.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you are absolutely right. I think also, in these times, something like volunteering or connecting with each other or doing something is something that you needed to happen at a kind of a आंदोलन की तरह से, है ना, बड़े पैमाने पर ये हो, उसकी बहुत जरूरत है. और from that context, I feel one beauty of Anandam is its simplicity, that it doesn't have too much of tamjham around it. It doesn't require you to have a lot of processes, procedures. Its real beauty is really its simplicity. So it says that every individual, you can do something on your own. So just think about what is it that you can do, anything. Think about that, and that's between you and your soul. So you don't have to prove it to anyone, nobody. So it is an honest conversation with yours. So that's really beautiful. And the second part is that go out and find your group of 2 people, 4 people, and do something in the community. So somebody asked about lifelong learning and skills. If this is not going to teach you lifelong learning and skills, I don't know what will, because you have to put together, you have to think of an idea. So that's enterprise. You have to put together a team. That's your HR function. You have to motivate others. Then you have to go out and actually deliver something, do something. You have to persuade others. And then maybe you want to talk about it. So communicate also about it. So it's all, learning how to work with each other. But in Anandam, even this group project, it's a simple project. There is no kind of, prescription that you can only do this and you can only do it like this. It's open. You design your own program, you pick your own team, you go out and do it. And then you just come and tell your mentor in the faculty that this is what we did and make a presentation. As an encouragement, what Anandam has proposed is that there will be recognition of people who've done very good work, but it is in the nature of encouraging and not really saying that others have not done good work, but it is so I think for those who are wondering about Pan India, one thing that Ronak said, that there are opportunities everywhere. If you take the idea of Anandam, you don't need a government policy. You just take the idea of Anandam and you say, I will start keeping an individual diary, and that's your first step of the individual effort. And then you want to do a group project, you go out and find 4 friends and do a group project. And like I'm saying, why do you want to wait for even a policy? If it becomes वो ripples फैलने लगे, तो फिर कोई भी कहीं पे भी कर सकता है. So that's what I feel that I think many people, of course, will be looking at the Rajasthan experience and what it does. And I have a feeling, even if you give it 1 or 2 years, I think you will begin to see the impact of it. I think at least the individuals who will be involved in it will see the impact of it in their own lives. At a societal level, whether the demographic dividend advantages will be seen or not is, I can't say. But we are nearing towards the end of our time. So I would just like to go around the panel and any concluding remarks from each one of you. So ma'am, first, if you have any concluding remarks for 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, my only thing is, I wish that, and I'm very much confident that this is going. We are successful in conceiving the idea, in concretizing the idea, and now we will be successful in executing the idea also. And this is going to bring a revolution, a silent revolution in the society, and it is making. It is going to make society more and more peaceful and loving society, and we will be having more loving people around. This is what I expect from Anandam, and I think this will happen. Thank you.
Oh, that's very nice, ma'am. Very nice. So, Gaurav, you want to go next?
Yeah, I would like to add to Shuchi ma'am's view only. I'm very optimistic about this policy change. And just to add to her, she says that it gets executed well. I would also wish that it gets institutionalized well also, and that is taken up pan India and goes further as well.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you. Ronak?
Yeah.
So I think Suchi ma'am has so nicely said the whole idea. So I would just only add one line that Anandam mein jo Anand hai, just enjoy that. Don't the person who wants to get into this. हमारे I think जीवन में आजकल थोड़ा आनंद की ज्यादा जरूरत है. We become too much of tensions and work related काम का और stress जो आपने शुरुआत की थी. That this is one of the most stressed young generation. So उसमें वापस आनंद लाने के लिए बहुत this is very excellent initiative, and we really wish this go very far.
Thank you very much. So there is a question which I think ma'am had answered in the very beginning, that is Anandam inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's thought process. And ma'am had said in the beginning that it was on 2nd October of 2019 that ma'am had first got this idea. That was the day when she thought about this. And so if there are no other questions, Karthik, can I just thank the panel and thank all the audience for the time, and thank ELETS for making time for this panel.
Thanks.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Shuchi Sharma, Secretary Higher and Technical Education. I think it is very important if a bureaucrat, if an officer who is capable of making a change in a system, think on these lines. On a very, it is not everywhere that. So it is very good to see a bureaucrat taking these initiatives to bring a phenomenal change in the system in terms of bringing social values. And kudos to you, madam. Thank you. And Nilima ji, thank you so much for moderating this session so well, like always. You do. And Ronak ji and Gaurav, thank you so much for joining us. And I thank all of you. And there were some good questions also, and you answered them really well. So Deepak, are we ready to close this session, or is there any other ceremony to do before closing it? Okay, so here we will close this session, and I request Deepak to play a video. Madam, would you like to give any closing remarks? We were not able to listen to you
I have already given
fully as we wanted because of internet. I know there was
given. I think
there was a lot to hear from you, and
I think what I wanted to I have conveyed what I wanted to say, Karthik, and there is, due to net problem, there were some difficulties. But I think things have been communicated, and it was a wonderful session with Nilima ji and Ronak and Gaurav. Thanks to ELETS Media.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.